Today, in this video, me and my friends got the world record for longest game in the server called PvpArcade, which took a very long time, so it would be very appreciated if you were to be subbed to the channel. Now enjoy the video. Now you may ask, what is PvpArcade? Well, to put it in short, PvpArcade is a PvP server with multiple team-based games like Capture the Wool, Destroy the Monument, King of the Hill, and many more. The game modes also vary on the map. Now with that in mind, the main bit. The original record for this challenge was 6 hours and 30 minutes. So that means we'd have to do a lot of stalling and a lot of things to do while we wait. So the first thing I did was trapping, which escalated to a lot of other things. So the first trap I planned to do was a door trap where they would enter a fake house and a piston would push the block under them and then they'd fall in. Now what I didn't expect is that someone would fall in while I was making the house. Which proved that it worked. So the same person that fell in the trap last time fell in the trap again and basically gave away my entire plan because now 5 people were there at the scene and now know about the trap. While making the second trap, my high intellectual brain jumped into the hole and then died. The very same trap that I was making. Luckily, I got back pretty quickly and then fell into the same trap that I made before, like an idiot. Luckily, while adjusting the trap, someone actually fell into the trap, which meant it worked on someone other than me, of course, who went into it knowing it was right there. While running around looking for bait, I noticed this manhunt scene going on, and it was pretty funny, and then I got killed, which wasn't very funny. Now for the third trap, it was a ladder trap that I got from playing Bedrock Edition. Basically, a piston would push the blocks that the ladders were on downwards, which would break all the ladders, so whoever was climbing them would fall into the hole below. Which, luckily for me, this time I actually didn't fall in by myself. I also had this conversation with this guy without using any words or letters, which is kind of like sign language, but for kindergarteners, because there was no sense in what we were saying. Like, I didn't understand what he was saying, I don't think he understood what I was trying to say. Luckily, I managed to bait someone into actually falling for this trap. But I messed up miserably. I messed up miserably, and then I proceeded to try trap him again, and there was no hole at the bottom, which I forgot to put in. He then climbed it again, and tried spleefing me, but I kind of just punched him off. While attempting to reset the trap, I noticed he was coming back, so I attempted to do the trap on him again, but then I fall in, which I don't know how, but he also falls in with me. But then something so convenient happened that will be so amazing. Eggsox, a YouTuber with 239 subscribers, joined our game. My first thought was to try trap him, and I thought things couldn't even get better, which I was right about because I failed miserably. I asked him politely if he wanted to visit my house, which wasn't sus at all, and I don't think he noticed at all, because he didn't say anything about it in chat. Now unfortunately, I didn't even reset the trap, so when I attempted to, my friend stepped on it and then fell for the trap again, which kind of ruined the whole plan, but I had a backup plan luckily for me. So I asked him to go upstairs in the house, which what I asked politely and was not obviously a trap at all, and I can confirm that because I took English classes, which I don't know how it's related. So we go inside the house, and before going up the stairs, he notices a hole in the ground and places a ladder and lands on the ladder. So that trap already backfires. Some people outside had trapped us inside, so I attempted to go for another kill. It didn't work. So my final attempt before breaking down, I asked him for my third trap, which is my treehouse trap thing, which he also agrees because he's a nice guy. Now he goes on the trap, so it would have worked flawlessly, but he notices the hole at the bottom again. I get him, and he block clutches, and then I give up on trapping him. After recovering from my breakdown, I witnessed someone just jump into the void. While trying to set the trap back up, I managed to kill the same guy again. So at this point, I think he needs therapy. Xbox was in need of wood, so I decided to attempt one more assassination attempt. Of course, I add the smiley face for more effect, and he laughs at me and then refuses, which is pretty sad for me. So I put a sad face in the chat. Though I do give him the wood though, so that's good. But because of the multiple failures, I then go jump into the void because I give up. So instead of trying it on Xbox this time, I tried on a fellow friend, which they do accept, and it does work out, but not in the way you'd expect it to. When they enter the house, I realize that the trap is not even properly set up, so I tell them to go outside, and they kindly oblige to doing so. That's pretty convenient for me, and I reset up the trap right after, which they then go back inside trying to avoid the trap knowing it's there, and they fail. Then someone else walks in, and they notice the death and leave immediately, in fear of the same fate. As soon as I thought I'd caught someone in my stair trap, my game breaks, and yeah, everything freezes. The 2-hour mark has come, and I decided to open a McDonald's. No one visits, and the only business I get is beat each other up, and then proceed to vandalize right outside my property, which I also have to clean up. I decided to change the design of the order area by putting slabs instead of blocks, so it looks a bit more open. A new customer comes in and decides to try go in, gets shot, and then runs away again. I decide to get more into uniform and I actually put on a McDonald's skin. And it actually works because another customer comes by and I give them beef, which is the only thing we have. They also ask for a Happy Meal, so I give them a giant adult toy, or an axe. Yeah, what were you thinking, losers? Which he also appreciates in the end, and he follows the sign that says please stand here when you're done ordering, which is supposed to kill him, but he doesn't die. So I attempt to go out and do it manually, but he commits suicide. A new customer comes by who becomes our local thief, as you will see in the future, as I give them food, and instead of following the sign, which is the payment, they walk back slowly and then proceed to steal it. After that, someone comes in with a boat and I offer them some food, which they take and then do the payment, which doesn't work, so I go out to try do it manually and they commit suicide. We offer some food to another customer, but our local thief steals it twice, so we have some problems giving it to them. Our new customer kindly obliged to the rule of going to the standing point, which they then die because my piston works, though the local thief does not oblige but dies anyways, as you can see. They get spleef from behind and fall into the void. We have another customer who I offer beef, but then commit suicide. We get another customer who follows the rules, but is a god and manages to clutch a gigantic fall, which I still don't know how they did it, but they did, because if you see in chat, they did not die from the fall. The same customer from previously comes back, and I offer them some food, which he receives, and then we start looking at a light, and then he commits suicide. I think there's something wrong with him. Our first customer comes back, and our other customer commits suicide again. I offer them some food, they accept, and they put a boat down. I don't really think I have to finish what happens next, because, they commit suicide. We get a new employee who is Ronald McDonald themselves, who then commits suicide. We now have a new order in the menu, which is French fries, which I offer to some new customers. A new customer tries to enter through the window and proceeds to vandalize our property and tries to spleef me, but Ronald McDonald smacks him in the face and then proceeds to murder him. After this, I had to go to school, but some things did happen when I kept checking in. For example, my McDonald's estate got taken over by KFC. We reached the 3-hour mark. We started making art and admiring it. A lot of people left and we hit the 4-hour mark. We had a build battle session. The theme was basketball. This was my build. This was the second build. And this is the third. The winner was the third build, but in my opinion, the second one should have won as it was a masterpiece. We had finally reached the 6-hour mark. And finally, we reached it, 6:30. We beat the world record. After 6 hours, we finally broke the world record, and I'm spending the rest of the time waiting and editing this video. Sadly, I had to go AFK, and it put me in spectator, which ended up ending the game. With a total of 10 hours, the game had finally ended. With the game finally ended, I could finally rest in peace. Unless I do a part 2.